I'm on my way to class. Medicine and space class. I'm going to go on a medical aid for distant and ice environments. And it's essentially a device we built as a team. Essentially helps astronauts when they're really distantly deployed make medical decisions because it's really implausible and difficult to dedicate one member of your crew to have a full MD and still be able to function and do other things. So we've designed essentially a medical aid that helps the astronaut navigate through three or more common sicknesses, illnesses, injuries, and things to help them navigate through decisions like that. So it should be interesting. I'm planning for tonight. It's a little windy, but we've got a block of time from 9 p.m. to about 1 a.m. We should have some pretty decent transparency. Cloud cover is gone. I can tell right now. Look around. There are clouds everywhere. Storm coming in. Expecting snow tomorrow. But with the sun going down, the earth is nice and warm and starts to send those drafts right back up the mountain and likes to stop all of our weather. So hopefully we'll get some time to go out viewing tonight. I'm going to be taking my 500 millimeter that I picked up. I've shot with once. It's a mirrored lens, f8, so you can't really stop it down or anything, but you can control exposure right in your ISO. So we'll go out and take a look at Orion tonight, kind of give an intro to the setup, what I'm working with, finally getting a chance to record this video, and start on the deep space object journey, if you will. So we'll see how that turns out. If we're lucky, we'll take a look at some other nebulae around, but M42, the Orion Nebula, is over 1,300 light years away. And it's actually the closest region of star birth occurring in space to our planet. So it should be a really fun chance to see it if you haven't. I've taken quite a few shots of the Orion Nebula. Really not hard to locate. You're really looking for the scabbard of Orion, just right there in the center. We'll start with some exposure length. Talk about how we dial in using a digital SLR. I'll be shooting on a Nikon D7500, which we'll talk about in a bit once I get out of class and the sun goes down. So we'll chat soon. All right, finally I'm out of class and sky, but it's pretty cloudy. CDR went great, and I forgot we had CPR stuff afterwards in preparation for the analog coming up next month. But sky's not looking very promising, particularly with deep space DSO work. We need particularly clear skies, and one thing I found is the KP, our electromagnetic activity in the atmosphere, seems to have a lot of impact on my photography as well. I know we've got a little bit later this evening where we hit about 4. We want to be kind of 3 or below if we can. And it's a little windy and nippy, so not exactly feeling optimistic about tonight, but we'll give it some time and see what happens and we post-film. So that is the nature of deep space. No joke. It just started snowing as I stopped recording and walked a couple hundred feet, and it's snowing. So it doesn't look like I'm gonna go out tonight, but kind of getting back to Orion, I think I said before, 1,340 some odd light years away, the Orion Nebula. And it's fantastic to shoot. Generally what we'll do when we start working through deep space object photography is, particularly if we're not using a lot of these really expensive lenses that adjust for different considerations, the camera systems themselves that use apps and software to manipulate it on the fly, those are great for super clear images, but to be honest, not everyone's got that kind of money. Or if you're like me and neurodivergent and you have about 1,000 hobbies, right, you can only spread so much for each hobby. So I've taken standard photography and light gathering or photon gathering principles and started to use those concepts to draw in the images that I've created. So as long as you have a digital single lens reflex, or even shit, if you have a mirrorless, that'd be great too. But you really need a full-size chip. I know a lot of these mirrorless don't have that now and won't get the same quality as my older D7500, or at least the granularity or the resolution. So we'll try another night and we'll see where it goes from there.